All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Dr. Andrea Christian Parks, and welcome. I'm glad you're here. I just wanted to let you know that in a very few short hours, it is now 2:37. So, less than 5 hours from now, I will be giving my last webinar for the season, and I want y'all to be there. I want you to be there. So, if you're not registered already, you got to get registered. I am giving a free webinar on weight loss without willpower. The reason why I named it that is because there is like one model of change that we understand in this world, and it is the New Year's resolution, willpower, suck it up and get it done method of change. That's the only model of change we know. We think that's how we get change done. And how many times does that fail? It fails because willpower is like a muscle. It fatigues, it gets tired. You cannot depend on it to last you through the length of a really long effort. If you're in the gym and you're, lifting weights, you're lifting your weights, your muscles get tired. You got to take a break, you got to stop, and then you start up again. Eventually, though, you have to take like a long break. You can't come back to the gym and do, what do? You do upper body one day. You don't do any more upper body that day or the next day. The next day, you probably do like lower body. You see, so you're off of the upper body stuff for days, right? Okay. Well, you can't really do that with a long-term goal like weight loss. Weight loss, consistency is king. And so if you fatigue the only effort you have, which is your willpower, you're not going to stay on plan. You're not going to make it. You're going to be on again, off again. On. That's where the roller coaster up and down the scale, the yo-yo dieting, on plan, off plan, on plan, off plan. That's where all that comes from because we're leaning on the wrong model of change. So the webinar is designed so that you can do it differently. So we can find out, well, what really works to get weight loss successfully without the willpower. So that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. I'm going to be talking about what to eat, how to move, exercise. What role does that play in your plan? I'm going to bring all of it in, all of it. So you got to be there. So before I forget, if you want to register, you got to get to the website. This is not a live streaming webinar. I'm not on, Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or any of the platforms live. It is a private Zoom meeting. You've got to register to get the link so you can get into class. So the way you do that, go to my website, drandreachristianparks.com, and register. You'll get a link. Boom, you're in tonight. Now, if you can't make it live, but you want the info, register anyway. You'll get the replay tomorrow. There's some things you're going to miss not being there live, but you will get a lot of it on the replay. There's some stuff that makes it worth being there live. But if you can't, and I understand can't, sometimes it's not I don't want to, it's I can't. Get it on the replay. It'll give you a lot of the stuff that you want to know, and it will really help you a lot. So go ahead and register. Now, what I wanted to do real quick, jump in here. I got a bunch of stuff I'm doing to make sure this webinar is awesome tonight. So let me just get in and get out of here real quick and not make this super long. But what goes in your weight loss plan? And I talked to some about this yesterday on the live, but today I want to add to. So yesterday we had a discussion about, trying to figure out what you will do. What can you do? What do you want to do? What kind of plan are you going to craft that works for your life? You got to start there, because trying to fit somebody else's plan into your life doesn't work. I mean, sometimes you can suck it up and willpower your way through someone else's plan for a while, but for the long term, for your life, like how you're going to live and eat forever, it takes a very particular plan, and I would say almost none that will fit in your individual life. So you got to start there. What can I do? What will I do? What do I want to do? The next part of that is how. Because you can have plans that you're like, this is what I want to do. This is, I absolutely think this is what's going to work. And you actually probably have experience with what works. You've done many diets, you've done many programs, and certain parts of them, you actually thought, yeah, I like this part. I could do this. I actually feel good when I eat this way. Or, this is easy. I can incorporate this into the pace of my life. That's the next step. How are you going to make it happen? Here's what happens though. And this is the coaching part. You can have an idea of what you want to do with no plan. And then you get into the weeds of it and the whole thing falls apart because your life can't support what you've committed to. That's what happens with most diets, with most plans. But you don't have to do that when you create your own plan, because you can put the how in from the beginning. So that's the question that you want to ask your brain. That's the coach part. Don't just make a plan. Now make your brain work for you. How am I going to do this? Okay, so my plan says I'm going to eat mostly fruits and vegetables. I feel good like that. I like how I like eating like that. It tastes good. I know how to cook all the veggies the way I like. I have places I can go get veggies on the run. I have, whatever. I have all these ideas. I like eating that way. I also like to have salmon or a piece of fish. I like to have a piece of chicken. I'm going to have animal protein 3 days a week. That's what I think works best for me. Doing too much, I don't feel good. Doing none doesn't make me feel great. Okay, I'm going to do that. I'm going to eat 2 meals a day. I'm not going to have breakfast because I'm not really hungry in the morning. All I need is my coffee and I'm good. Those are ideas of what you're going to do. The how is where it gets sticky. And when you ask your brain how, initially, here's what will happen. Your brain will go, don't know. That's exactly what's going to happen. It's okay. That's normal. Your brain is used to doing the automated, like quick answers. Like whatever it is that you're used to, that's what you do. That's why when you're rushing home and you go, oh my God, I don't have a plan for dinner, the car almost takes itself to the pizza place, or you're auto dialing the takeout restaurant before you can even, is this a good idea? Should we do this? Is there any other option? Just automate it. That's what your brain does very, very well. Automation. So when you give it a task and you ask it to solve a problem, like, how can we do this? It takes a little time to get online. However, the solution your brain will come up with will be exactly what you need. I give you an example. How are you going to make these meals that you want to make that are not how you're doing things right now? Well, maybe in your grocery shopping, you're going to start buying more pre-cut veggies. Yes, they're way overpriced, but it saves you a lot of time. It's convenient. And maybe you don't want to devote the time to doing a bunch of chopping and a bunch of meal prepping and all that kind of, you just want to buy it in bags, throw it in the pan when you get home. You can do it that way. You'll deal with the cleanup, but you don't want to do the prep work. That's one option. Another option, I'm going to order certain stuff to come to the house in prepackaged, pre-portioned, dump and stir kind of boxes. Totally fine. That works for you. You can afford it. Go for it. My favorite solution, this is the one that I worked on for a long time, is I now have teenagers and I have trained them to cook. And I have decided that's what needs to happen. They have to cook for themselves. I don't want sometimes what they cook. But here's what I don't have to do. I don't have to come home and cook and feed them and feed me and feed my husband. Most of the time, what they make, he will eat. I might not. But cooking for me, super easy. Cooking for all 6 of us, no. So because they're older and I put in the time and the energy and effort to train them, they can do it. Now, some of y'all might have little kids. That option might not be yours. That's mine. So that's where the how question to your brain starts to come into play. That is absolutely how you solve the problem. The question is, will you do what you know you can? When your brain starts coming up, and it may not, the first 2, 3 solutions may not work. That's okay. Keep going. Keep asking your brain for more solutions. Make it work for you. Your brain is yours. It's not in charge of you. You're in charge of it. So keep asking it to keep digging, keep working at it. You'll keep coming up with stuff, and it will be the perfect, customized, personalized, individual plan for you. No one on the planet can do what your brain can do for you. The difference with working with me and what I'm doing with my clients is that I help you find that. And I want you to come to the webinar tonight so that you can see what I'm talking about. See what I'm talking about, how I help you think differently, work with your brain, and then you'll, at the end, get a chance to see how I work with my private clients. Okay? You'll have an opportunity to become one of them if you want to. Now, if you want to come to the webinar, get the class and go, that's totally fine. The part I'm talking about is just at the end. So come on, hang out with me tonight. I will see you at 7 p.m. Eastern. All right. Bye, y'all.